Alright, what's going on everybody? So before I get into this video, I want to warn you guys, if you haven't been watching Fairy Tail, if you haven't been caught up, if you haven't watched the latest episode of Fairy Tail, click off of this video because I'm going to be talking about the latest episode and actually some of the other events that happened recently in the show. So if you haven't watched the most recent episodes, or you haven't read the manga or whatever, then you might just want to click off this video because I'm going to be spoiling stuff. So that's all I wanted to say. So let's go ahead. It's time to finally air my grievances with the show and its war arc. Now, the war arc has been going on for a while. This war against Seraph, against Fairy Tail and everything. And in today's episode, we finally got the death of Makarov. He used the Fairy Law spell to obliterate the soldiers that Irene enhanced with her magic. Makarov is finally dead. Or is he? Seriously, this was supposed to be an emotional moment. The death of a major character. So why doesn't this moment feel impactful for me personally? The answer is simple. One of Fairy Tail's major problems has finally gotten in the way of what should have been a impactful scene for me. Up until this point, no one has died in the war arc, from the Fairy Tail Guild at least. And let's be honest, we know that Fairy Tail wins 99.9% of the time. There have been several moments already where it seemed like the character was gonna die. It seemed like some character was gonna die. It seemed like they were finally gonna die, but then they didn't. Remember when Gajeel almost died fighting Bloodman, only to conveniently be saved by Irene's Universe 1 spell? Or what about Juvia, who tried to commit suicide so that Gray wouldn't feel guilty for killing her? She appeared to be dead, only for Wendy to show up minutes later and heal her. She basically saved her life. I'm sure there is probably one more example. There's probably one more example that I'm probably forgetting. But you see the problem here? Up until today's episode, my main issue was that there weren't really any stakes. There are no real stakes. Yes, I understand that Seraph getting his hands on the Fairy Heart would be the end for Fairy Tail and let's face it, all of Ishgar. But let's be real, that's not gonna happen. Fairy Tail and the rest of Ishgar they're gonna prevail at the end. But what's important is how we get to that conclusion and the casualties along the way. I just wanted Hiro Mishima, the creator of Fairy Tail, of the series, I just wanted him to finally commit to a death. And he finally did, with Makarov. But I find it hard to care. It's not because I hated the character or anything. I don't hate Makarov. I like the character. I have no problem with him. I just feel nothing because, to be honest, I have a hard time believing that he's dead. I mean, everyone else has miraculously escaped death at some point, and it's just hard to actually care at this point.